Hey, Travis County, thank you for joining me for week 3 of our mental health breaks. The first couple of weeks, we talked about stress and ways to slow a stress reaction. This week, we're going to talk all about sleep, and for some people, that's their favorite time of the day. I'm Tamara Schubert, your Family Consumer Science Educator for NMSU and Travis County Cooperative Extension Service. If you're having trouble sleeping, you're not alone. 1 in 3 Americans have difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep. Improving our sleep habits, building daily self-care practices, learning to manage our stress, they all can improve the quality and the quantity of sleep that we get. And one of the things that prevents us from falling asleep at night is simply that our brains are still running. We've talked the last couple of weeks about how amazing our brains were built and created. And one of those things, if you're like me, is they just don't shut off at the end of the day. But creating a buffer zone between our days and our bedtime can help a lot with this situation. It helps us from dragging those stressful days to bed with us. This buffer zone can last anywhere between 30 or 60 minutes depending on your preference and what it takes to truly shut your brain down. So put away your phone, read a book, write in your journal, or go for a stroll. The objective is still the same. Stay away from anything that is taxing during this zone. It will help you ease into your bedtime frame of mind. 30% of Americans are sleep deprived, and sleep deprivation simply means not getting the amount of sleep that we need to accurately function during the day. And for most adults, that's anywhere between 7 and 9 hours. And I know some people go, hey, we can sleep for only 4 hours and it's great, I'm rested and stuff like that. But that eventually catches up with you over time. So for most Americans, what's recommended is 7 to 9 hours. A lack of sleep directly affects how we think and how we feel. And while the short-term impacts may be noticeable, we're kind of tired the next day, we're having trouble focusing, things like that, there are some big noticeable impacts about the chronic sleep deprivation and how it can heighten the long-term risk of physical and mental health problems. So when we're sleep deprived, it directly affects how we feel during the hours that we're awake. So we have slow thinking, we have a reduced attention span, we have worsened memory, we have poor and risky decisions, we have a lack of energy, and we have mood changes. And that includes anything from the stress to anxiety and, you guessed it, irritability. We've talked for 2 weeks about being mindful and aware of what our bodies are feeling and what they're trying to tell us and the activities that we're doing. So thinking through why we're doing things instead of rushing head on into the next activity. And that applies to our sleep as well. So today we're going to look at 4 routines that help us build a sleep ritual that will help us create that buffer zone. So the first thing, and it's one of the things that I like to do as well, the first thing we're going to talk about is to close off our day and prepare for the next. And this has a 2-step process. So we want to have a decompression period before we leave the office or before we wind up work for the day if we work from home. So this is the time to review our calendar, prep things that we may need for the next day, and really make sure that we're prepared for the next day. This helps so that we don't go home going, oh my goodness, I forgot to do that, and so I have to go to work early, and what if I miss this? And have a time at the end of the day where you can sit down and review what may be coming up for the next day. It helps leave work at work. So when you get home, debrief with your spouse or your family when you get home. So it's your time to kind of run through things the next day, talk about how your day went, do anything that you may need. Hey, tomorrow we need to go grocery shopping, and on that list we need, tortillas or bread or whatever. Not only does this help us wind down for the day, but it also gives us some peace of mind and some extra time in the morning. So number 2 set up some kind of relaxing evening routine. And this is different from everybody because let's face it, we don't relax the same way. What I consider relaxing may not be relaxing for you all. So this is where the buffer zone comes into play. Find out what makes you relax. Is it your favorite pair of slippers? And that's one of the first things I do when I walk in the door is I change my shoes and put my slippers on. But find out something that makes you relax. Your favorite pair of slippers, your favorite music. Establish some kind of a buffer zone, and during that time, try to change the lighting in your house. Whether that's turning your lamps on and turning off the overhead lights, or dimming your lights if you have that feature on your light switches. Dimming the lights creates a cue for our brain to signal that, hey, it's time to end the day, it's time to wind down, it's getting close to bedtime, and it helps us get into that frame of mind and triggers our brains to do the same. The third time, and I know you guys are going to look at me like I'm nuts, is to create a bedtime. And most of you guys just had a flashback to your childhood and go, oh man, I hate bedtime. But creating a bedtime, a consistent bedtime, whether it's 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock, create a consistent bedtime and it will tell your body, hey, it's time to bed. It's time to shut down for the day. I'm getting tired. It's my time to get tired. This also helps getting up in the morning because your body is consistent in that routine. But having consistent bedtime will help you shut down and prepare for bed. The fourth thing to look at is to avoid your sleep disruptors. And the easiest thing to do is to change where we keep our phone. So research has shown that the blue light from our phone does disrupt our sleep cycle. So if you sleep with your phone by your bed, either find the night shift on your phone or simply change it to store it outside of the room or away from your bed for the rest of the day. I know I turn over, I look at that clock, and that disrupts my sleep. So store it away from your bed if at all possible. The other thing that has to do with potential disruptors when we talk to sleep is what we eat and what we drink. So if this may be concerns for you all, try journaling what you intake for about a month and seeing if there's something that stands out, food or drink-wise, that can be prohibiting your sleep. So my challenge for you all this week is to find something that works for you. One simple change in your routine or establishing your routine that may help you prepare and help you get to sleep faster and get those 7 to 9 hours that are recommended. Thank you for joining us this week. This week, remember, take a moment, take a breath, and take time for self-care. We'll see you next week.